It is Everyday Shenanigans. Thank you for joining me this late morning. Last night I brought you commentary pertaining to the Idaho 4 slangs, the young people who were students at the University of Idaho in Moscow. And there was something that I did not touch on during that commentary that I think needs to be addressed. A cautionary tale of why Mr. Goncalves needs to stop speaking to the media. There's something that was said in my commentary via a source pertaining what he has relayed to the media. And it goes a little something like this. And I made sure to reread it during that commentary to make sure I was repeating everything correctly. He said that one of his children is expected to attend the University of Idaho soon. Underneath that sentence, he says that he knows of someone that goes to the school that he's concerned about. So those are two separate entities. One, his own child, and somebody else. And I remember playing audio, I believe the day before, where he mentioned that, and I thought maybe I had misheard him. So in that commentary last night, it speaks of two people, his own child and somebody else. Mr. Goncalves, let me say this to you directly. If indeed your daughter Kaylee was the target some villain, monster picked out your child to hurt, harm, kill, and her friends were collateral damage or a part of the motive, then you have just put a target on the back of your child and whomever else you were speaking of. We're in a digital age where people can find out anything about you. So if indeed the person killed your child and all of those other students, friends of hers, as a personal vendetta, then you just threw your child under the bus and whomever else you're speaking of, because they may know the other person you're talking about and may also try to find your child. They may try to find where you live, where you work. Because people like to dig for things, hunt for things, such as this witch hunt that is transpiring on social media pertaining to anybody that was near your child on that fateful evening. I don't think you understand the ramifications of what you have done. And I think it's sad and quite pathetic that I would even have to address this in a live stream, because the one thing the Queen does, she listens. I listen to everything. This is why I tell people they don't pay attention to the details. You should have never said that. Because indeed, if your child was the target, you've now just told the killer that your child is also going to be attending this university and that you know of somebody else that you are concerned about also attends the school. Why in God's name would you do that? I'm starting to really wonder your motivations for speaking. Because there comes a point when you can't continue to get a pass because you're grieving. Because the other parents are not speaking. They're not talking about the graphic details of the scene, of the children. You have a rift with the police department, but yet you say you respect what they're doing, this and that. But then you have to backtrack on a comment about the lawyer being a coward and not the police department. You are making this case worse. And you're helping feed into what is already a jacked up situation pertaining to social media and gossip. I don't understand where you're coming from. And that's the Queen's personal opinion, because I'm just a realist and I deal in the real world. And I deal in a world where I know you can't trust people and that people are vile. And I would think by now you would be the first person to know this better than anybody, because your child was just brutally murdered in a house that she used to live in and was in a same room bed with her best friend alongside her other friends. Let me make that clear. She died in a house with her other good friends, former roommates. This is serious. And I don't think you understand what exactly is happening here. Because let me help you understand. Let's just say the FBI, state police, and Moscow Police Department do not find the killer or killers. And we go into a new year. And then we go into another month. Then we go into spring, so on and so forth, if you get my drift. And it was personal. The killer killing your child and her friends. What makes you think he won't lie in wait for your other child, children, family members, you, your wife, your neighbors, your friends, because you have a penchant for talking a lot. And I've got this sick feeling you are going to say the wrong thing to the media, and somebody is going to end up hurt, especially if law enforcement does not find this thing that is walking around. Because we do not know who he is. Now, possibly law enforcement has an idea. They have a profile, a suspect in mind. If so, they have not shared it with the public, nor you, your family, and the other parents. And for good reason. Because just imagine, they want to share with you who they thought killed the kids. I want you to think about this seriously. They would be crazy enough to share with you who they think the killer is. What you would do with that information. It would be the point of no return. This person snuffed out 4 kids without blinking for whatever reason. For whatever reason, motive, it doesn't even matter, because it doesn't matter to the dead. They're not coming back. So in the end, the motive doesn't matter. He killed more than one. So that should tell you what type of person you're dealing with. He wouldn't have a problem killing again. Especially if it's personal. Your daughter was the target. And now she has siblings left behind who allegedly, one is supposed to attend the University of Idaho. You should have never said anything. If I were you, I would ask my child to reconsider going to that university. I would also possibly consider the child limiting, and your children in general, limiting what they say on social media and talking on social media and possibly using their government names on social media until this thing is caught. Because you don't know him. You don't know his motives. And I'm not here to disagree with whatever vile scenes, viewing of your child. I mean, no disrespect. If you believe that your child was the target, then that is your opinion. But you have to be very careful about what you say on social media and to the media. And you handed him a golden egg. You need to stop talking. And tell your children to stay off social media and to remove their government names from social media until this thing is caught. That's my message today. Thank you all so much for joining me. Happy holidays. Have a wonderful week. If you'd like to donate to this great network, $BigAngie129 Cash App. Everyone needs to be careful about what they're posting. Because in the end, we do not know the killer, and we do not know his motivation for these brutal murders. And it will be sad to find out it was something very, very, very petty. Because in the end, it doesn't matter why he did it. It mattered to him. It mattered to him. And he took 3 extra with him if indeed your child was the target. So that's why I said the motive doesn't matter. He didn't care about killing more than one. Thank you for joining me. This is Everyday Shenanigans.